In this video, we're going to look at 3D printing complex geometry using the Prusa slicer. Architects, architecture students, and students thinking about architecture, you're in the right place. Now, the key part of 3D printing complex geometry is how you deal with supports. And we're going to look at creating organic supports to make our complex geometry 3D prints successful. Let's get into it. Okay, so here you can see the complex geometry that we're going to be 3D printing. Now there's 4 key parts to getting a good 3D print. Number 1 is dealing with the base layer. Number 2, the layer height. Number 3, the infill. And the most important, number 4, is the support. All right, so let's take a little closer look at this geometry. So we're printing 4 inches by 4 inches, so relatively small. And I want to make sure that my minimum thickness is about between 0.75 millimeters to 1.5 millimeter. Now 0.75 millimeters, that's really thin. Now these Prusa MK4's 3D printers, they can print that thin, but you just got to expect some failure with some prints. Now in this one, I'm going to print a thickness of 1.5 millimeters. So if I just take a distance here and just kind of go around snapping to my vertices, since this is a mesh, and I'm just snapping to these points, and I'm seeing that 1.5 millimeters is really consistent. I can try another area too. So this is some really good geometry where we're seeing that it's all 1.5. So this is what we're going to bring into Prusa. So let's head over to Prusa. And what you want to do in Prusa, the first thing you want to do is you want to set the printer that you're 3D printing to. So you want to go to configuration and go down to the configuration wizard. It's going to load in some files, and then it's going to bring open the configuration wizard window. And in that window, you're going to select your printer, and you're going to select your printer from the Prusa Research. And we're going to select the MK4, the original Prusa MK4S with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. This is a standard basic Prusa MK4 3D printer. Okay, so we're going to keep going through the next to the important pages. And the important page here is the type of filament that we're going to be using. So that can vary for all of us. We're using PLA, but we might be using different brands. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to deselect all the Prusa filaments except for the generic. So I'm going to type in G and get down to generic, and I'm going to choose generic PLA. I'm going to uncheck generic PETG. So I'm going to make sure that that's the only one that's checked in this list. Okay, that looks pretty good. Prusa meant PLAs need to be unchecked. All right. Generic PLA, that's the only one. And I'm going to go to next. And I'm going to keep going through this till I get to the end here. Just keep clicking on next. I want it to be in expert mode. That's not always the default, but I want to choose expert mode. All right, and then we're using millimeters. We're not using inches. It's just standard to use millimeters when you're 3D printing. All right, we can finish that. Okay, so we're going to import our 3D print. We can do that with Control-I, or we can go up to the main menu and go to File, Import. And we made an STL file, so we're going to import that STL file into the Prusa slicer, and that's to scale. We're working at 4 inches by 4 inches, or 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. And you can see that here. All right, so I mentioned 4 things: base layer, layer height, infill, and support. Let's start with base layer. So we're going to go up to print settings, and we're going to go to skirt and brim. Okay, skirt and brim. It's not the top one on the list, but it's skirt and brim. And we're going to want to make sure that our brim is turned on, but not only outer brim only, but outer and inner brim. I'm going to set that to outer inner brim. So I want that to be my base layer. Okay, the next thing is layer height. We can get that from the top of the list. Layers and perimeters. Okay, so the layer height default is 0.2. If you want a fine 3D print, you're going to want to use 0.1. If you want a quick, fast 3D print, you're going to want to use 0.3. 0.2 is right in between, so we'll stick with the 0.2. The first layer height, you want to make that a little thicker so that you get more adhesion with the base plate. So I'm going to make that one 0.35. Okay, That's my layer height. The next thing is my infill. That's the second on the list. So for these complex geometric forms that me and my students are always making, they are very thin structure. They're very thin walls. They don't require an infill. So I'm going to go ahead and set that infill to 0%. All right, that's really quickly base layer, layer height, infill. The next thing is the key, which is support. So we're going to go to support, and we can go to generate support material. We definitely need to check that on. Then there's auto-generated supports. So let's just see what the default looks like. So let's go to platter, and we're going to be working in the lower left. So I'm going to move myself over here. And we're going to, well, one thing I want to show you before we jump into taking a look at all these settings is the placement. You can see this thing is floating. Right here, it's floating. So I'm going to use the place on face, and I'm going to orbit and click the bottom. And now that has rotated. If I go to the undo, redo, you can see that. So that's a really helpful tool, the place on face. All right, so let's take a look at what this is going to look like in the slicer. I'm just clicking on this little button over here. Look at all that support. That is going to really suck. That's going to take forever to take out, and the 3D print's going to look terrible. There's just way too much support in there. Now, you can reduce the support if you look at the angle at which it applies support to. And I can go to print settings, and I can look here. This is the overhang threshold, okay? The overhang threshold. So higher values will give you more support. Lower values will give you less support, because lower values is only applying to angles of what you put in and lesser. So if I put in 10 degrees, it's only going to apply support to 10 degrees, 9 degrees, 8 degrees, and down to 0. If I put in 60, it's going to apply to 60, 50, 40, 30. So the higher values are more support. The lesser values are less support. Let's see what 10 looks like. So we'll go back to our platter. Got to click on the little square on the left, click on the preview, and you're going to see a lot less support. A lot less support. And this is set to everywhere here. The supports are set to everywhere. You can choose support on build plate only, and you're going to get a little better result with that. So if we take a look at that, it's not supporting within the geometry. Now, everything has consequences, right? Like, things can still fail. But if you notice, these supports are only coming up from the build plate. They're not going from geometry to geometry to geometry, only from the build plate and up. Well, friends, we have a better way to do all this. We're going to do this through organic supports. So where are organic supports? Let's go to print settings. Let's go to style, options for support material and raft. There's snug and there's grid. Now the default is typically grid. Grid and snug are a little bit different, but I want to look at organic. So I'm going to click on organic, and I'm just going to go to platter, click on the first button, click on the second button here, let it generate. And you're going to see this amazing tree structure that's generated. This is really great. If I scroll this slicer down, we can see this tree structure. These are really easy to break away, and they're really clean where they touch the 3D model. Let's go back to print settings. Okay, one thing that you're going to see here is top connect Z distance, and that's 0.2 detachable. So it's 0.2 millimeters from the geometry so that it can break away. You want to make sure that's set, and that I'm pretty sure that's default. Now, if we go all the way back, if we go all the way down to the bottom, we're going to see a whole bunch of settings for the organic supports. Now, organic supports, they're generated in what's called vase mode. So they just have a thin outer shell, which is really great. But you can change some things like the maximum branch angle, the preferred branch angle, the branch diameter angle. You can all of these, and the best thing to do is just click on these. All the link settings, or all the settings are links in Prusa, and you can click on this, and that's going to bring you to a web page where you're going to see a whole lot of information about what you clicked on. So that's super helpful. Organic supports, you can read all about that. But let's take a close look at some key settings here. Okay, the easiest one is just to look at the branch diameter. So if I put in 5 here, and I go to the platter and I click on the left button, click on the right button, let it generate, we're going to see huge diameter branches. So it's, again, it depends on the print that you're making, how big it is. This is a small scale print. So my branch diameter, I'm going to make that 1. Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, you can see that those are much thinner. If I bring this up, you can see those are much thinner. Then there is the branch density. Let's take a look at that. So branch density. Branch density is down at the bottom, and 30% is shown here, and I put that setting in. 15% is the default. So the density, I think that I can make the smallest is maybe 5. It might be 10. Let's see. It took 5. So these branches are less dense. So less dense can be helpful with having a cleaner 3D model because there's less points of contact. More density you might need for certain areas. This is all by experimentation, but this is the way that you can 3D print complex geometry. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one.